Me and my brothers really bucking that heat. War torn streets, no sovereignty. You bitch better not bother me. No coddling, no fondling.
You're listening to WeP3 Radio on the Foxhole Radio Network. Currently, Doc Todd, the late Doc Todd, Mission Gun Blue.
Gotta go and get my feet. Yeah, I'm tired of this grind. So much shit on my mind. Too many brothers they got left behind. Rewind, recline, refine, and never quit your climb. Don't quit when you're blue. Never stop, just push through. Sometimes what you're called to do, it ain't always up to you. Not up to you. Don't bump into any point of view that you can and do. Keep marching through in hot pursuit.
Left your left, hey. Left right your left. You got it.
Thank you for joining in today with Andrea Eichmann and Mark Peterson of the People's Patriot Project for this week's WeP3 Debrief. Find out what our crew has been working on to help support those who have given some and all to the pursuit of liberty and freedoms across Minnesota and the United States. Watch, listen, and support as we create the beacon of hope and opportunity in today's society that needs its heroes. Are you a veteran, first responder, or a patriot looking for a place to put your skill set, your thoughts, and or want to help continue the mission? You have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we want to be the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always clean. We want to be part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to the WeP3 Debrief. Here's Andrea and Mark letting you know the mission. And as always, Patriot Pride.
You got it!
Whoa, where are we at? Hey, look, it's Monday, and we're here 4:30 every week. 51 days out of the last 53 weeks. How's that? We're here every Monday. Why are we here every Monday, Andrea? Because your microphone's off. You gotta learn how to turn the microphone off first.
Dude, half the time you're trying to turn it on, I'm trying to turn it on.
I never touched your microphone, Miss Eichmann. Never touched your microphone.
Don't talk like that. I think that I had so much to say, and then I was saying it, and you couldn't even tell. What was it? Oh, we're here every week. We are here every Monday, except for 2 recently, where we share what we've been up to, what we have coming up. We share who we talked about and talked with last night, the night before, always on a Sunday night. And I have some cool conversations that I just recently had. So much to share. Look at much love and respect. Do we have another Daniels? I think we might have another.
Yeah, I think so. We got both Jeremy, and I think that I might be wrong. I'm thinking it's Jerry. But look at that handsome man.
No, look at that guy.
And look at that guy.
I know he has a lot to say about that picture, but it's a good picture. It is a good picture. And I was going to, because then I got distracted because I have read much love and respect, and I was just about to say so much love to share.
Yeah.
Kimmer, your ears might have been
do it.
burning. I was actually talking about you maybe like 25 minutes ago. This is fresh. Is it okay if I step out just to?
Oh, Lordy.
Well,
Yeah.
no, we have a group that okay, I'm going to talk about me first. I truly think
Go
that
figure.
no, because I'm not military and I'm not first responder, and I'm okay with that. I've learned it. It's okay. But I have a place, and I just had the most amazing conversation with I don't think I can share a name right now. I'll see. I don't have permission, but I don't think he would mind. But there's a group here in Minnesota that really wants to be involved in the Reads Across America stuff. And then we shared our missions. They also are a nonprofit that has a mission. And I love to share how we like to keep that connection and that share. And this person will be on the show in the future. It was key. You know what part they want to help with at the Reads Across America Day?
Tell me.
Organization of the wreaths. They want to be, so they also witnessed this piece this year where God bless the Civil Air Patrol, which we'll talk about our guests soon, brought so many squadrons. I think Lieutenant Colonel Pryor said 115 cadets were there, right? That's amazing. The hard part is that the position I envisioned and tried to put them in, it needs to be very forcefully blunt about you can't take these wreaths right now after the ceremony come back.
That happened? Did that happen?
Well, so some of them are quite young. And
Sure.
I don't know, like, so then this person who's going to help out next year is like, oh, can you imagine if you're that young, even if you have this squadron, the Civil Air Patrol training, you got 5 adults walking at you like they're on a mission, and you're going to tell them no when they get there? Like, maybe not. I know you have a job to do. I know that's your job, but then what if there's 10 adults that are going to tell? Anyway, I just know that I had some adults tell me.
I think we need to give out some titles. I think if we make you a wreath commander,
yeah,
you are the wreath commander. You're in charge of these wreaths.
Yeah.
If anything happens to these wreaths before set time, then wreath commander is relinquished.
Here's the agreed upon observation. These kiddos, some of them are 13.
Yeah.
And they're little. Some of them look like they're 8. And there's no offense to them. God bless them. They're out there getting training and learning the ways of the world. I like your idea. I really do. I think so. He said, just imagine if we've got a retired or soon to be retired veteran every so many spaces away from. Now, not only do they have the confidence that we just gave them, but they have the confidence to be like, yeah, there's another guy 12 yards away who's going to tell you
be
this.
Armed with a rake?
Yes. And now we have, there's a sign that says you can't. I think there's a sign that says.
Remember there's signage at the door. I may have had to make an adjustment in my life that day.
So, but I think that's anybody who comes along and tells me they want to take a part in helping keep that stuff organized, I am game.
I love it. I love it.
Yes. And then happens to have the heart of language like I do, then we had our conversation was long.
Yeah, I witnessed some of that language arts material today. Our kids are in trouble.
Yeah. So, on that note, I want to throw a huge thank you. He knows who he is. And you know what, you guys? We had some of the most amazing chiming in guests last night, and they're here today too.
We're just switching. What was last night? What did we do last night?
Well, last night we got your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime weekly show. Every year it's weekly, except those years when it falls on like a Christmas Eve day. So Christmas Eve period. I think we would have hit a Christmas Day, but
we kind of did New Year's, but it was not real.
We'll get there.
We're still here. We still solve our peeps.
Well, yeah, no, we're all good. And so So then last night we had our people watching, and then we got this thing about why we know. I mean, how we know that we. Oh my gosh. How we know why we get to do this. Thank you to the service members and first responders that have committed their time, blood, sweat, limbs, family, and life to give us the freedoms that we have that allow us to do what we do daily. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Those who have served our country, excuse me, those who have served their communities and continue to do so. Man, what would we do? Well, Peterson points out quite often, like, does anybody whose house is on fire hesitate to call 911?
Hey, honey, the garage is on fire. I'll get to it in a minute.
Someone else will notice. Someone else will notice. They'll call.
I'll do that later.
Yeah, that's not how it works. And so why are they so hesitant to help those that answer the call? Here's
the deal. No one does diddly freaking squat until they're affected by it. That's the truth.
Yeah. Well, no, not no one. My house has never been on fire.
Yeah. How often? How often do you think people call on crime and or accidents? I mean, most people, that's the go-to. They dial 911. Don't get me wrong, but they're actually, there's an emotional. Oh my gosh, look what's happening. I mean, of course, you're not going to dial 911 on something that's happened on the other side of town. But my point is, you don't appreciate what you have until A, you don't have it, or B, someone has helped you to recover it, and or, I mean, that's the truth. And if you're not losing anything, people are going to lay on the couch. And again, I'm sorry if this is hurting people's feelings, but how awesome is it to see people who see an issue that needs to be fixed? Now, here's the other part that drives me nuts. And we had some of these. The people that reach out to you to tell you what was wrong. But they have no plan, no idea, or no angst to do a freaking thing about it.
Yeah.
They're just going to tell you about, hey, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. You know what? If it's a booger hanging out of my nose, I don't expect you to pick it. But if you let me know it's there, I'm going to appreciate you a little bit more. I'll do the pick, then we'll do the hug, and all things are good.
No. Oh, can you wash your hands first, though, before the hug?
I'm using the back.
That's why. See, that's why I don't teach your grade.
There's a plan. I got a plan. It's only a mess that they have a hairy back. It's only a problem then.
I've been around long enough that I no longer just allow you to tell me what was wrong. You are now invited to help me find the solution.
I'm not going to lie. Andrea does an amazing job with this. And she is a saint about it. And I'm just like, but she does. If you call something out, you're getting an invite. And I love it. She does a great job with it.
I didn't just fall upon it. It's not like I came across this naturally. I actually had to work myself into that. But after so many times being told, like, well, you should do this or you should do that, or why don't you try this? I was like, listen, there is space. There's space on the committee. Yep.
Great idea.
Space
Come
on the committee. Need
show
your
us how
ideas.
it's done.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So I've learned. It's all good. Yeah, Kimmer, I was saying earlier. So you're the fact that this person I was speaking with earlier has actually, so we got into the music part of it. We were sharing their mission and our mission, and then I brought in the music, and then I brought in the writers, and I got a name. Said person is going to bring another musician to us, but then later in our, I suppose when the trust factor set in, he says, well, you know, I've played in that world a little bit. And then he said, well, when I was like 18 and first in, I thought I was going to have a band, you know, and so, but has music and has some paragraphs. And Kimmer, that made me think of you. I was like, oh my gosh, if you have some poems or some paragraphs written, we should we should, here's the common ground. The common ground was, and now I'm going serious on you. Maybe I'm kind of all over the board, but the common ground is that if you can't express your feelings, your hurts, your thoughts, your anguish to another person, then put it on paper. And if you put it on paper, it helps. Gosh dang it. Sometimes it works itself out, but that's not a guarantee. But it will help you look at it in a little different light, help you arrange it, help you. You got to sort through things. And so if you can't share, and maybe there's not another person out there near you anywhere who you trust or who you think will understand, that piece of paper is making no judgments on you. Okay, put it on that paper, and then you're the only judge until you're comfortable with sharing it in another way.
And I'd like to share a little piece too. That paper is a safe place. That paper is for you. And here's the other thing. If you put it out there for people to read, then the people that really want to know, that really want to invest, that really want to be part of that story. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people running around saying, hey, tell your story. Don't do that. I'm going to tell you right now. Yes, tell your story, but just don't freely share it out there, because there's a lot of people that A, don't care, and B, will scrutinize, and C, will, I can't think of the last word I was going to use, exploit.
Oh,
exploit you. And if it's written down and it's in a safe space, it's in your safe space, you don't even have to put your name to it. People can read and say, hey, this is where we can give like real love, real advice, real point of view. Now, when I say the People's Patriot Project is here for those actions, that's a different monster too, because we are asking to be part of your life. We're asking for the information that what can we do to help make you whole again? What can we do to help bring you back all the way home? What can we do to help support that? We're in it for the mission. We're in it for that purpose. And we take pride, so delayed. We take pride in servicing, helping, and taking care of others. And we got some amazing people that have come in and shared their stories, come in and shared their pieces of their lives with us. Some are like, oh my gosh, they're heartbreaking, heart-wrenching. I'm so sorry that's happened to your life. Some are like, you know what, brother, you might need to buck up a little bit, because what you're dealing with isn't any different than what everyone else is dealing with. And there's the reality. It doesn't mean for at the moment that you don't need to have someone to lean against or to help you at that time. And we're all part about that. But we're here. We're here.
And the confirmation for me is that's my place. My place is to listen. And I even if I don't have advice or a go-to for you, I'm still here to listen. So there's my place. There's my, honestly, my deity given purpose, I suppose, is
that's
to listen.
Segue right into deity, who we serve, right? What we serve, how we serve, and then all of a sudden we've got Chaplain Ireland coming up on our show it was last night. But what an amazing spirit, energy, passion. Not even an American.
Well, didn't start that way, right?
Right. I mean, he chose to serve. And he chose to serve in our country outside of Britain, where he was born. I know that, having the last name Ireland throws things off a little bit, but, listen to his accent might throw you off a little bit again. But he wants his Yorkshire pudding. And it's not the same as chocolate pudding. Miss Andrea might have learned that last night.
There is definitely a difference between cake and pudding in my world.
How do you differentiate? I don't know. Is that a word?
Yeah, maybe.
That is a word? Okay. I used it. That's funny.
Differentiate. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Well, yeah. differentiate
Mr.
also.
Peterson.
Yeah. There's so many ways that we could take it, and we like to have fun. And the sad part is the fun part always ends up going to a crass place, and I didn't want to go there and do that with Mr. Ireland. But what an amazing blessing he is! I have a feeling there's going to be some kind of cake eat off at some
Oh
point.
my gosh, we're gonna add it to one of our events.
An event, a cake eat off.
The fruit cake and pudding challenge.
That sounds like maybe we have to have some Christmas sweaters then. That sounds like
We could try that. We could try that.
Yeah.
Well, it was just reconfirmed, and I know that I've said this in a lot of conversations with our guests and our friends, and the good people don't believe in chance meetings. They believe that people are put in our way for reasons. And so that was seriously the conversation today was going to happen in some way, shape, or form. It's up to us to make it like a continuous connection, or maybe at that point we are like, well, yeah, we're good, nice knowing you, but we have to live through that experience in order to garner the meaning of it. So,
Alicia, so nice to have you here. I'm not confident that I've seen your name before. Would love to know more about you, and thank you for showing up today. Just to highlight again, this is our weekly debrief. This is when WeP3 comes together, the People's Patriot Project, and shares about the mission and the effort that we've been working on. And currently we're kind of giving an update about our podcast live stream from Sunday night. Last night, again, we did have, I don't feel like I'm throwing them under the bus at this point because we got pretty deep into he was going to be here, but we did have a musician. He wasn't able to make it. We hope everything's okay, but we had the chance. We played some of our favorites last night with Jen Ford and Stephen John. Exciting stuff, man. It's our classic. I'm having a brain moment. Life is good. That was the word I was.
Oh, I was like, what? The easy. I'm like, I don't know where he's going. What does he do?
No, I was stuck. Yeah. I was stuck. It was all stuck for a second in there.
You should probably. So Stephen John is one of he came around in the beginning, and so he will hopefully be down there in Louisiana. I have to say it. Gotta say it. You know what? That's a good song and a good video, isn't it? Isn't it, Kimmer? Stephen John is he is like your brother. He'd be your big brother. For me, he'd be my little brother. Dude is just a good guy all the way around. And so now he has songs that are not quite so upbeat, but if you can't, take that song when you're in a crappy place, take it when you're in a good place. I don't know about the crappiest of crappy places, but it just points out that take the little things, right? Take the little things. Life is good. And then we have Jen Ford's Gold Dust Woman. Wow. All I can say is wow. Have fun with it. Don't take that one to seriousness, right?
Right. It's a great song. I don't know. We had some post conversation about the song, and no one's in trouble.
Is it risque?
Life is good. I don't think it's risque. No, I think you know what? Here's the deal. If you go watch Temples of Doom and watch Harrison Ford, you expect to see that stuff. It was a timing thing, and no one's at fault, and no one thought anything about it. It is just probably not the best video for the guest we had on. And again, if you're sitting there watching it generally, you wouldn't even think two things about it. And it's probably me overthinking things, but there is a little bit of pagan worship involved, and we do have Chaplain on, and I totally get it. And there's some tarot cards that may or may not have
That's the risque part right there, the tarot cards. Right.
And
that's all.
And Jonathan had no idea, and Jonathan feels bad. I'm like, no, do not feel bad. This is not on you at all, brother, at all.
No.
Because I gave the go ahead and everything. But Alicia, I see you're from the area, and I'd like to know how you found out about us, and B, again, we'd like to carry some conversations. If you're looking at being involved, we're always looking for good people in the space that are that like to do stuff.
This is code. I see you're from the area. Code talk for. I just been creeping your profile.
True. You gotta do that's the best part about this. Miss Winter, thank you for saying that. Jen Ford rocks it all the time, and we love having her in the network and the things that she's doing. She's out of Texas, not only an amazing artist, an amazing human being in general, and we love having Jen around. And awesome stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's do you feel like we're kind of creeping out of the starting gate this year? Like there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of behind the scenes things going on. We're planning events all year long, but there's like nothing like our teeth. We're not like locked into stuff.
I think, right, because so those of you that don't know, we would normally be planning a like an ice fishing tournament right now, and to be in an ice fishing tournament, and
right.
I haven't heard a word about it because until about 5 days ago we didn't have ice on our lake
in Minnesota.
So it's a weird thing to be halfway through January and just getting. It's okay. I didn't say good or bad thing. It's okay with me, but for those who make their livelihoods, like I'm thinking up north, all those resorts don't have anybody coming to stay because there's no fishing.
Right.
And then there's a lot of, like, I live in this little town by the river, and even our kids, we have a club that takes kids fishing after school. I think they did their first one last week, and you can't go on the ice unless there's ice. So yeah, fishing doesn't happen then. I mean, and then here's the problem. Those of you, I'm thinking like a Louisianan, right? Because ice builds up along the edges where it's more shallow. So it's not like you can stand on the bank and fish because it's a top coat of ice.
What's funny is Brian Romans from Romans Warriors Foundation was just on, and he was doing a post about if you're from Louisiana. Actually, I think he said Alabama. And your things are going out. Literally, he's like, please don't go out. And then I did have to comment, hey, up here we eat that snow for breakfast, just so you know, Brian.
Yeah.
And
well, so we're going to talk about Jonathan, right? We had our board meeting the other night. So it was last Wednesday. Jonathan's already telling us down there in the bayou that they got school called off for tomorrow, Tuesday. Almost a week later, and I'm like, we don't forecast weather like that around here.
Yeah, wait a minute. Cannon Falls, not sorry. Cannon Falls this last week canceled snow canceled school the day before because of big storms coming through.
Right.
Now, down in Louisiana, when you say 1 inch of snow, you guys are probably in panic mode.
But it's not even the
panic
snow.
mode until 10, 15 inches.
No,
so.
No, it's not even the snow. So it's weird for me. And maybe Peterson, I don't know what's weird for him. When you have a weird guy, not a lot of things are weird. But down there, so they're typically, he had 70-some degrees yesterday. If it gets that cold, the humidity becomes a factor. It's not snow, it's not ice, but then it gets cold enough to make that humidity into slippery. And so I get it, understood. Then we have Lee Williams come in because he's a funny guy and says, because he's from down there, and he says, oh yeah, I was fine when I came down there with my Minnesota license. They told me, get ahead, go on the shut down roads. You know what you're doing. Little did they know he was actually from their end of the world. But yeah, there's a difference. There's a difference, definitely. We drive in it every day.
But there's the other part of that story I have to share because it's funny. For the very first year I came to Minnesota was 1990. And
wow, I was barely born.
yeah, right. You were already having babies at that
No,
time.
not then. No.
I think you're number 4 in the 5 at that
Oh
point.
yeah. In 90, yes.
So in the great state of Minnesota, which was new to me because I'm from Wyoming, we just had the October snow of Minnesota.
Oh,
That is
91.
and
Yeah.
that is also the snow event that Lee Williams took a military cut V and went down southern Minnesota to help him out and rolled it and had to show his driver's license to the highway patrol down there. And they laughed because he was from Louisiana. So he's playing both cards at this
Oh
time.
yeah, well, I mean, that's what he said. He thought it was funny because, you know, they didn't know with his Minnesota driver's license that he actually was from Louisiana. So there is that, and it is kind of funny. So, well, Alicia, it is a little bit of a jump from NC to Minnesota. So welcome.
She's
Welcome.
here. We've also friended up, and it's all good.
I'm sorry, Alicia, but thank you for taking him for a minute. What's Frank? All right. Yes, indeed, Terry. Yes, indeed. We have a couple things coming up. What I want to point out, the biggest in the moment is our Shock and Awe Fest down in Louisiana. It'll be in Thibodaux at Nichols State University. They've been very generous, very helpful, very supportive in allowing us to use their space, and their veterans is an association, I think, in Nichols State has been volunteering with us as well. And at the moment, we don't have the beer crew coming, so we're figuring that out. But we do have we're having a cook-off, and we are having a what's that called? Cornhole tournament, possibly a rock. Word is there's one down there already that is thinking about just joining up with us. It is, I think it's gonna be a great time, Alicia. It's a little ways, south, and so that to me that's got to get out of Minnesota at some point, right, when it's cold. Lots going on that day. We've got different vendors coming to share probably what we talk about, cigars, and I think there's going to be some bourbon vendors there, all veteran and first responder related, of course. Tickets will be out soon. Jonathan was working on that last night. There will be Eventbrite ticket sales if you want to pre-purchase. I mean, you certainly don't have to. Everybody's welcome that day as well. I couldn't tell you the ticket price. Super fair. There'll be music. Oh my gosh, how did I? Peterson, where are you? There'll be music by, hopefully, we should know this week sometime if it's confirmed, Mr. Stephen John. And then we've got Blake Luquette and Josh Garrett, with like some blues and laid back.
We're talking about more opportunities too as we're moving along.
Yes, indeed. Lots going on that day. And Jonathan has guaranteed us some good weather. So no hurricanes, no. What else do they get down there?
Typhoons. They get snow. They get snow down there.
No, it's not gonna be snow.
Rumor has it they're getting some there this week.
Making that crap up. I don't know what to tell you, but
I can't find this on the People's Patriot Project page right now.
You can't find what?
This debrief. It's making me crabby.
No, it didn't. I found it on People's Patriot Project last night. I couldn't find it on We Got Your 6 at 6 though. Why is it being picky like that? So when Peterson's falling asleep, he's not really falling asleep.
I'm not falling asleep.
He kind of kept kind of kept getting called out on that yesterday. But
Not during
so
the show. It was after the show.
while we have the show rolling, we do sometimes well, I just have one screen, but I'm a lot of times looking at our notes, looking at our sometimes we're checking our Facebook because there have been moments where someone reaches out for a request or for help, or luckily it's not because they've been saying something mean or out of line. That's only been twice, I think, in our life. There are stories of people are scrolling through Facebook at the end of their very ropes, and they run into this, and then they say something or they reach out behind the scenes. And so it is never that we're not paying attention or that we're taking a nap. It's just the course of, well, to be truthful, you'll see Peterson sometimes he's got like 8 screens behind him right there, or in front of him.
I mean, there's
behind the screen here. So yeah, got all that.
It's not that I'm not paying attention. It's that I'm not paying attention. Okay.
You're really not paying attention. I was trying to give you like.
I want to do a special shout out. I'm talking to the young lady now. An artist from Minnesota. I'm trying to coerce her. So this is why we're going to do the shout out. And maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't work. Maybe she says she's busy. I get busy, totally get busy. But I'd like to just do a quick shout out for Amy Marie Art here in Minnesota. And if you haven't seen her stuff, go check it out. I really like it. And I think when Andrea goes checks it out, she'll see why I think there's a place for it within the People's Patriot Project.
Amy Marie Art.
Yes. Maybe train distracted a little bit. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to share a story. This is a story.
Oh boy.
Okay. Everyone sit down and grab a safe place. And I'm going to open my book. We'll open our book here. And we'll
story time with Peterson.
This morning I woke up. Look whose book I got.
Hang on. Oh, yeah.
Look at that. Oh, yes. If you haven't gotten that one, reach out. Healing Like a Warrior by Miss Gwinner. She's a regular here. We love her to death. I woke up this morning and it was 7 below. And lo and behold, the furnace wasn't working.
You picked that out?
It wasn't in that book. That was my real life. That's what happened this morning. And then I went outside to jump and to drive my truck off, and it said, Mr. Peterson, I am not ready to drive off. Can you do something like jumpstart me? I'm like, oh, yeah, I can do that. And I go and try and start my son's vehicle. And it said, Mr. Peterson, I'm not ready for this morning. Can you jumpstart me? And I'm like, okay. Call the neighbor. Hey, buddy, you up? It happens.
Oh, boy.
That's my funny story.
Is it fixed? Or did you get it fixed?
My feet are a little cold right now, so I don't know if we're fully go yet, but I'm told I do have a conversation that needs to be had. So as soon as we wrap this up, I guess I'm going to have to run and see what I can do with that. I know a jump pack. I did have a jump pack. I did have one, and I used it. And everyone loved it. They loved it so much. You know what happened to it?
Did it get worn out?
Well, they're portable and they're easily accessible. And I do have 20-plus-year-old children. Not that they would ever give it away, but I'm guessing someone needed it more than I did at one moment.
Yes.
What do you do? You move on. I need to go get another one. Thanks, Alicia. Thanks for putting salt in that wound.
That's funny. That is funny. So what else? What else you got? I'm trying to think. Can we talk about Johnny Holiday? Is that what can I share something from Facebook on here? Does it work?
Kind of, yeah.
I can try. I'm at a little, or it's from my Google Drive. Can I share that? What's
Miss Gwinner? My truth to your question is I have not read it yet. my books come in and I put them right here, and yours is on the top, which means it's on the bottom. Not unfortunately. I do have 2 other books behind you, but it is in a stack of the resources that I am getting through. Miss Eichmann has read your book and has. You want to share anything about it?
Yes, but now I'm caught off guard a minute.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Can I? No, because I want to say the words right. Kimmer, I do. Yes. And we've already had a conversation about it. So I haven't read from cover to cover, because here's what happens is I read and then I set it down. And then sometimes I think I've gotten farther than I really did. So I've probably read it by thirds, but probably not in order, because that would mean I accomplished, and so it's not accomplished yet. No. Well, shoot, I was gonna say it's right here, but I did take it upstairs because I was reading it upstairs. So, and I'm sorry that was that was detached, distracted and detached. I just want to.
You're trying to work right now, and you're trying.
I was in a whole different area, Alicia. I'm not that discombobbled, but
so you run, and I'll do some messaging here real quick. If you haven't had the chance to check out WeP3 Radio, remember we have the only radio station that plays nothing but exclusively veteran and first responder musicians. We're a little bit backdated on some of our music, but we're going to get it done. We're going to put it out there. Hey, here's a shout out, a cry out, a beg out. If anyone would like to work in the area of our YouTube channel, we would love to have you. We have one. We want more people there, but it's a mess because we put so much content on there, and we can't stay caught up to it. So we got your 6 at 6 is on there. Every WeP3 Debrief is on there. Every live stream of event is on there. What do you got going on, Eichmann? You're distracting me.
I feel like Jeremy reads my mind. Either that or there's just enough delay when it gets to me. I'm just laughing because it's all in there, but there's not really. I just got done preaching organization, and now you're bringing up YouTube. So
maybe we can put those people on our YouTube channel.
It gives me the hives. That's why I don't even.
The hives, I know.
It gives me the hives when I go there. Because then you try to find something and it's not there. Okay, I have a video. Are you ready for this video?
Yeah, let's check this out.
I don't have to do anything?
I don't know where you got it, where it's going, what are you doing?
Is it there?
Well, kind of.
There's so many more steps than I thought there would be.
Can you make it bigger?
Okay, so I don't know if you all caught all the cowbell in there, but there was a lot of cowbell.
A lot of cowbell. I think we should become the official radio station of cowbell.
Yeah.
And then we'll just everyone who plays cowbell can come play. And I guarantee you, we got a spot for everybody. Boom.
So
we bring the cowbell. Shock and awe.
That was a master sergeant from here in Minnesota. He's not from Minnesota, but he's been here at Fort Snelling, and he that's the tame. I have another video out there. That's the tame cowbell version. He likes the cowbell. Yeah.
Well, he does. Yeah. I mean, and who doesn't? But that's Johnny Holiday, and Johnny Holiday is a veteran. He works here in the state of Minnesota. I can say he shares it with the Department of Justice. He also has his own business where he helps people attain their firearm certifications. And Willie, what's Willie's last name?
Moore. Willie Moore.
Willie Moore. And then Sergeant, I just learned him by Sergeant.
Master Sergeant Green.
Yeah. Who, amazing conversation. That's one of our WeP3 musicians. And when I say our musicians, one of the people in our network that we have a relationship with. And we got roughly that same relationship with about 170 other musicians across the country. Stephen John, Jen Ford, just to name a few. And we're excited to have all of them. And
Brandon Miller, I dare you to go find him.
Yeah, don't go find Brandon Miller. But if you found Brandon Mills, you might see him at, and I should have a problem with this. She's only bringing his name up for one reason. He recently did a reel or a TikTok without a shirt on. Yeah. He used to be on The Bachelorette too.
Twice. He was on as Bachelor. He was so good they invited him back.
You gotta correct everything I say because she knows all the deets.
No, I don't. I don't.
She got the 4-on-1 on him.
Dude, I just ran into his video. He was doing a back to nature deal. But
look at that matrix. On January 7th, 12 people saw it. Andrea sees it on the 12th, and now it's up to 4,700. That's weird.
Yeah, look at the influence. I shared it on here, and now he has 4,000 more likes, 4,700 more. Yeah, I don't think that's my influence. I think I wasn't the only one that noticed. That's all.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Ha ha ha. That's funny stuff. So I just saw a picture. Another music artist by the name of Hank Barbie.
Yeah, Barb
with an E.
With and three beards.
Hey, here's a crazy story. He lives in this little place called Blanco, Texas, which is Blanca at the moment with snow. Yeah. Ooh. I couldn't remember the Spanish word for snow, but it's white down there in his area because it snowed. It done snowed in his area.
Interesting.
So beware. But that's not Thibodaux, south of New Orleans, Jonathan Crochet area. We're a ways yet.
What else we got? We got anything else?
No, I really don't. I need to go have some more meetings today.
Yeah, I gotta run and see what this furnace is getting turned on.
You gotta see if you're gonna have a warm house tomorrow.
Right.
Did you have 3 layers on today?
You know what was funny?
No.
That was freaking amazing in my house earlier this week. And I didn't have anything extra on. It was perfect. It's a little chilly right now.
Oh, you can't see your breath. I can't see it. Is it warmer then, maybe? Tonight, folks, will be opening the window because the furnace will be on, the fan will turn it up, and there will be Peterson.
Here's the deal. I'm feeling a coolness in the air, and I'm not hearing the fan or the furnace running right now.
Is that person gone already?
Yes. That might be, we might. There's another version of Mark not everyone knows or sees.
Oh, is there? Huh.
There's Eichmann has seen it, maybe.
No, it's It's the good version always.
Is it?
Right, I say cold no thank you too. Yet here I am. I want to tell you today, so it makes me feel bad initially, but it makes me feel good when I said I like to fix things, right? I trudged through Fort Snelling today because a few people who ordered grave-specific wreaths, I want to say there were like 3 that didn't find their wreaths on their grave. And then there were a couple others who wanted pictures. So I did find that one of the few that said they didn't get one had one there. So I think our gal Claudia, who was taking care of that, I think she went back a few days later and fixed it. And so somewhere in the middle, the family didn't see that. That part breaks my heart. That's the part that makes me feel bad, is if you ask specifically, and then here's what I think happens. They ask for somebody to place a wreath at the gravestone. They might be from out of town, or family is from out of town. Then when they get together as a family, they go to visit their loved one, and then there's not a wreath, and that's disheartening to me. And so I went to kind of try to fix things like that today. It's cold. It was so -7 is pretty cold all on its own, but the feel like, because we don't just have a temperature and go with it. It says -7 on your watch or in your car, and then if you scroll a little ways, it says it feels like -25. And so I went and took some pictures at the -25 today. I'm not complaining. It was a short time. My car was nice and warm. Don't ever follow me and steal my car, because I'll hunt you down. But I was very unsure about, because I've never really purposely I've not gone to find an individual grave out there. The sections, yes, but not an individual grave. So I was very nervous, like, how long is it going to take me to do this? Once you get a hold of it, man, it can still take a little while, but it's nothing like I had imagined. And thanks to those people that asked for the pictures. They gave the section and the marker number, and it's not hard. It's easy. It's pretty easy. So then that's the part where the feel good comes back. You feel crappy because it didn't get done, or this is weird to me. The wreaths, we had a lot of wind, like a few days after we put those wreaths out. There were wreaths kind of laying in some, not very often, but in some spots, like the family stake down ones have been tipped over, or the Wreaths Across America ones had been blown off to the side. And so that's a little disheartening, but we're going to problem solve all that and figure that all out. But so it turns into a good feeling when you get it all fixed and straightened out. And that's what I did today on my day off.
Good job.
Laid outside in the cold. I wouldn't advise it.
Is there any music you'd like to be played before we take off?
Oh gosh. I think hey, Kimmer or Jeremy, do you guys have any favorite? Now, we don't have all of them loaded up, but do you have any favorites you've heard?
Oh, I have some loaded up.
No, I know, but I mean, if they pick one, we may or may not. So I talked to this guy earlier from Team Rubicon here in Minnesota, and I was telling him about, after I had the conversation earlier about no coincidences, then with my conversation with this person, I was like, hey, have you heard the song How Do You Choose by Scotty Hastings? I just saw it. Or there's
Brandon. The one you like to roll with?
There's always Brandon Mills.
Well, you're giving me different thoughts now.
I know. What are we going to do? You asked.
All right. This is Scotty Hastings. How do you choose?
All right. See ya.
rolling down the window, too scared to get out. How do you say goodbye to someone you thought you couldn't live without? My mind is racing with memories of who he was and how good everything used to be. Damn, it could have been me. How do you choose who comes back home? Who goes under an old gravestone? I'm just asking 'cause it makes no sense to me. Is it something that takes a little time? Does it even cross your mind? Or is this the way that it has to be? Tell me, God, did I wait over? Why am I here? He's there with you. How do you choose? My guilty conscience preys on my mind as I see the words they wrote after he left us behind. Now I'm on my knees. How do you choose who comes back home? Who goes under an old gravestone? I'm just asking 'cause it makes no sense to me. Is it something that takes a little time? Does it even cross your mind? Or is this the way that it has to be? Tell me, God, did I wait over? Why am I here? He's there with you. How do you choose who stays here? Who goes home? I'll never understand feeling this alone. How do you choose who comes back home? Who goes under an old gravestone? I'm just asking 'cause it makes no sense to me. Is it something that takes a little time? Does it even cross your mind? Or is this the way that it has to be? Tell me, God, did I wait over? Why am I here? He's there with you. How do you choose?